Hi everyone. Today you're going to be measuring something called volume. And volume just means how much space a three-dimensional structure takes up. All right, so it kind of goes along with the same idea as perimeter and area, all types of measurement. Those two are, the area is more for a flat object, okay? And it's all talking about the space that it takes up, and perimeter is the measurement around, and volume is all of it, including the inside. Okay, so one example that people like to use is thinking of a sandbox. So the wooden frame around a sandbox would be called the perimeter. That's the measurement around. Then, if you were to say make a top for that sandbox, you would be finding the area that it takes to cover that space. All right, and volume would be like the sand on the inside. So everything that builds up that structure, all the space inside, and which will give us a total amount of space taken up by that 3D object of a sandbox that would maybe looks like a rectangular prism. All right, so today when you're studying volume, you're basically looking to see how many cubes it takes up. So our unit here is just counting cubes to see how many cubes it takes to make these structures, and that will tell us how much space it takes up. All right, so one cube takes up this much space. All right, that's what one cube looks like. Now, I have a few different structures here. I'm going to start with these ones. So let's look at this L shape here. Now, probably that most of you can just have a look at that and tell me that it takes up 4 cubes of space. So the volume of this is 4 cubes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And basically I'm just counting the cubes. Okay, here's another one. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, counting the cubes. So the volume of this one is 5 cubes. So you'll be seeing some irregular structures like this that don't really have any distinct shape. They just kind of have cubes that are put together in different designs and form different types of structures. And for these ones like this here, you'll just be counting cubes to see how much the volume is. All right, then you might get into the rectangular prisms or cubes. We know a cube is a type of rectangular prism. Okay, and I've got a couple of examples here. Now, for this kind of thing, it's not as easy or straightforward to count up your cubes, and we can see that they are made in layers. Okay, so I'm going to show you a way to use a simple calculation to find out the volume of this. So the first thing you're going to do is see how many cubes are in one layer. So here is a layer here. If I turn it this way, you can see that top layer a little more. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cubes in that top layer. Now, finding out how much is in one layer is like the same as finding out area of just a flat surface. All right, so in other words, length 1, 2, 3 times width 1, 2, 3 times 2 is 6. So that's like finding the area, finding out one layer. Okay, so there are 6 cubes in one layer, and if I turn it back like this, I can see that there are 1, 2, 3 layers. So I have a little formula here saying that if I know how many cubes are in one layer and how many layers there are, I should be able to find the volume. So there are 6 cubes in one layer, and I can see that there are 1, 2, 3 layers. So according to my calculations, this rectangular prism should be 18 cubes. The volume is 18 cubes. All right? So just to make sure that we really get that visual and understand how that works, I'm actually going to take it apart and count. All right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So that was correct. There were 18 cubes in that rectangular prism. All right, so this does work. If you find out how many cubes are in one layer and multiply it by the number of layers, you will get the volume. All right, let's try another one. So here we have a different type of rectangular prism. If I flip it like this so that you can see the top, I can see that one layer has 1, 2, 3, 4 cubes. All right, so it's 4 cubes in one layer times, and then I can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4 layers. And 4 times 4 is 16. So the volume of this one is 16 cubes. All right, so remembering that when you're calculating volume today to see how many cubes a structure uses, you are going to count ones that look like this, just counting and maybe putting a dot or a check mark as you count on your page. And if you see that it's a rectangular prism or a cube, find out how many are in one layer. You can use your formula for area, length times width, or just count how many are in one layer and then multiply it by the number of layers, and you will be able to get how many cubes there are in that rectangular prism or cube. All right, everybody, so I think you'll have fun doing this counting and working with cubes. It's always fun to work with structures. So remembering this formula for volume of rectangular prism and cube, and counting your cubes carefully today. Have a great day.